Hey, so guys, it is, believe it or not, Jaws' 50th anniversary. That's right, 50 years ago, Steven Spielberg, Peter Benchley wrote the novel, and a masterpiece was born, and I got to see it. I got to see it first run in a movie theater when I was a kid, and I wrote a little think piece, a little article for my Substack, and I had my buddies Emma and Ryan discuss it and do a little show. So take it away, guys, and enjoy.
Okay, think back for a second. What's that one movie, from when you were a kid that just really stuck with you? The one that felt, I don't know, bigger, more powerful, maybe even kind of life-shaping in a way. Films just don't hit you as an adult.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And for so many people, that film, that cinematic titan, is Jaws.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. Jaws.
That's right. It's coming up on its 50th anniversary, which is incredible. So today we're really unpacking Jaws, not just what it did, but why it still holds this unique place in film history and in our memories too.
Yeah, and we're drawing on some really cool insights from a piece by Will Stape. You might know him as Sci-Fi guy, veteran Hollywood screenwriter.
He actually saw it during its original run as a kid. Imagine that.
Wow. So our mission, really, is to figure out how Jaws became more than just a movie. How did it become this cultural moment, this watershed thing?
And why does it still resonate half a century later? How does it still affect us? It might surprise you.
Okay, let's get into it.
So one of the first things Will Stape talks about, and it really rings true, is this idea that movies are bigger when you're a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
There's just something about being young, right? That lack of cynicism, maybe. And just physically, you're smaller, the screen seems enormous, so immersive.
Yeah, totally. Then you grow up, you have life experiences, you're physically bigger.
Right, and that sort of diminishes that that life-shaping power films used to have. The world just feels different. The screen feels different.
Will Stape says you're no longer that munchkin in size nor innocence.
Yeah.
And most movies, even really good ones, they just don't hit with that same, thunderous impact when you're older.
But, and this is key, he argues Jaws is different. It's the exception.
Yeah.
He calls it this thrilling shark fest that might just be thunderous to view first at any age. It's truly in a class by itself.
It's fascinating. It suggests it's not just about childhood wonder, right? It taps into something deeper, more primal, maybe?
Exactly. And if you look at the bigger picture, Jaws just exploded culturally right away, and for good reason. It wasn't just entertainment. It fundamentally shifted how people felt about the ocean, about swimming.
Oh, for sure. Made us all afraid to go back in the water.
Totally. And for some people, it wasn't even just the water. It was anywhere near the water.
Right.
And it really perfected that whole unseen threat thing, proving what you don't see is way more terrifying sometimes. That became a blueprint, didn't it, for so many thrillers after?
Oh, absolutely. That psychological grip. And it had those funny cultural ripples, too, like Will Stape mentions.
Yeah, the Psycho comparison.
Yeah. Psycho made people maybe skip showers.
Right, made them stink, as he puts it.
But Jaws made the bathing suit industry hate Mr. Benchley and Spielberg.
Huh. It really shows how pervasive it was. And beyond just the fear factor, you see it on list after list of the best films ever made. It's got that universal recognition.
Okay, so 50 years. We have to talk about the icons. Obviously, the shark, Bruce.
Bruce, yeah, Spielberg's legendary mechanical shark. And the amazing thing about Bruce, he was a nightmare on set, always breaking down.
Right, I've heard that.
But that problem, that technical failure, actually became a creative masterstroke. It forced Spielberg not to show the shark too much.
So he had to rely on other things.
Exactly. On John Williams' score, which is just iconic, and on building that psychological dread, that fear of the unknown. It's like a perfect example of constraints breeding brilliance.
And then the human characters who make it all feel so real, so terrifying. Quint, Hooper, Chief Brody.
Absolutely. Those three, plus Bruce, plus the music. That's the magic formula, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And the film's impact went way beyond scaring people out of the water.
Yeah.
It totally reshaped Hollywood, especially for Spielberg.
Oh, massively. Jaws didn't just make money. It basically propelled Steven Spielberg into the stratosphere, like the blockbuster.
I've done stuff before, right? Duel.
Yeah. Duel, The Sugarland Express, both good films. But Jaws, that was the launch pad. It cemented him as, one of the greats. And it basically invented the summer blockbuster as we know it.
Wow. It changed release strategies, marketing. Everything. That whole high-concept event movie thing.
Exactly. So what does that mean for us now? Watching it today as adults, Will Stape sounds almost cynical about it.
How so?
He says, even the greatest new movie offering today never makes me feel like I did back 50 years ago watching Spielberg's Moby Dick-styled masterpiece.
Huh. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can you ever recapture that feeling, that childhood awe or terror? Is it us that changes, or is Jaws just different?
It's a great question. He even plays with this thought experiment, like, what if he could go back in time, stop his younger self from seeing Jaws?
Would it hit the same way today, watching it for the first time with fresh scrubbed eyes?
Right. And he acknowledges newer shark movies, Deep Blue Sea, The Shallows. He calls them powerful and fun. But his conclusion is pretty clear. Jaws swims and probably always will do so in an ocean all its own.
Wow. So it suggests there's something unique there. Primal fear, the pacing, the characters. It's just timeless, maybe beyond nostalgia.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the legacy is definitely alive and kicking. There's actually a new documentary coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
National Geographic. It's called Jaws at 50. And Spielberg himself does the introduction.
Cool. What's it supposed to have?
Promises loads of never-before-seen footage, plus homages from people like Cameron Crowe, James Cameron, other big names.
Nice. When's that out?
It hits Nat Geo July 10th, and then it'll be streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu the day after, July 11th.
Okay, gotta check that out.
And it's interesting, too, thinking about how Jaws influenced Will Stape himself, the guy whose reflections we're discussing.
How so?
Well, he connects Jaws to a whole list of his other big influences growing up. TV shows mostly.
Like what?
Things like The Twilight Zone, I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, Star Trek, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, Space, 1999, Battlestar Galactica, The Incredible Hulk.
Wow, quite a list. Classics.
Definitely. And he says those shows, those cultural touchstones with Jaws right there among them, they clearly shaped his path, led him to become a Hollywood screenwriter.
For Star Trek, The Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine. That's amazing.
Yeah. And he really emphasizes it. Looking back, Jaws was the one, his big movie moment. Still is.
And he still watches it.
Oh, yeah. Says he plans to watch it again this summer. And he even likes Jaws 2. Calls it pretty darn satisfying, even though, it's following up something basically incomparable.
High praise for a sequel to Jaws.
It is. And, we can't talk about Jaws without bringing up Captain Quint.
Oh, absolutely not.
That incredible quote, "I value my neck a lot more than $3,000, Chief.
Yes.
I'll find him for $3, but I'll catch him and kill him for $10.
Chills.
See it.
Still. Robert Shaw was just magnetic in that role. The character, the delivery.
Masterclass, like you said earlier. Just pure menace and character packed in there.
So, wrapping this up a bit, our deep dive really shows Jaws wasn't just a movie, was it? It's this cultural landmark, a really personal thing for so many people.
Definitely. It's a perfect example of how powerful movies can be, especially when they hook us young, that lasting impact.
It really is profound.
And it does make you think, as adults, we're often kind of chasing that feeling, aren't we? That awe, that total immersion we felt watching movies as kids.
Yeah. How do those first big movie experiences shape how we see films now, our expectations?
Right. And can anything new ever really replicate that first shock of wonder or terror?
It's a great question to leave people with. What was your Jaws moment? What movie did that for you?